Hi everyone, I hope you're all having the best day. Today we're going to be talking about the 2025 summer trends. I done a 2025 trends video right at the start of the year of trend predictions for the year, and I think you all really enjoyed it, so I wanted to do one specifically for summer because I think summer is our favourite season for fashion. I mean, it is for mine, so I thought we could do this and then maybe we'll start doing it for every season. So this is like spring summer, I guess, but we're already quite into spring, so we're gonna call it summer. I made myself a little matcha. I don't like that it's in my glass with the red on it because like red and green, apart from Christmas, but I don't normally like red and green, but this matcha is so good and it's like £7 from Amazon. I'm gonna link it below just because it's really good. If you can see that I'm wearing a bikini underneath this, it's because I've been sitting outside. It's meant to be like beautiful sunny weather all day, but I'm literally looking out my window and it's just grey. I sat outside for a little bit, but hopefully the sun is going to come back, but I thought instead of just trying to stay out there freezing, I'm going to come in and film this video now instead of this evening. But this video is going to be in two parts. This one we're just going to talk about the trends in general that I think everyone's going to be wearing this season, and then the second part, sorry my nose is really itchy. The second part, sorry, I know I'm going to watch this back and be like, I've already had to cut out so much of editing, so I know I'm going to watch this back and be like, just keep going, so I'm going to keep going. Number two, the second part will be where to actually find things. So I've picked like some specific things from each trend that I think will be really good staples for these trends, and then I've chosen like a cheaper, a mid-range and an expensive version of that, which we're going to do in another video. Otherwise this video will be like an hour long, so that will be up next week. I'll link it below when it's available. But today we're just going to talk about the trends for summer 2025. There's obviously so many trends, and I always like to put like a little disclaimer at the start because you do not have to follow trends. I'm guessing if you've clicked on this video you're someone that likes to, but you don't have to. I think with trends, and my kind of feeling towards it all is trends are not going to be around forever. That's the whole point of a trend. It's not permanent, but I do think it's really fun to find ways to kind of incorporate trends into what you wear, so you don't have to fully go into any of them. Just find pieces from trends that you like to incorporate into your wardrobe. And I also want to say the best stuff you will ever find will be in vintage shops, in charity shops, on Vinted, eBay. You can get the best things secondhand. So I would encourage you all to go have a look around local charity shops, on Vinted. There is nothing wrong with buying things new. I love getting things new, but I do also love finding things in a charity shop. And it's not just because they're cheaper, it's like the rush of feeling or finding something that's so perfect. I can't explain it to someone that doesn't get it, but honestly it's so good. So I always just like to say with trends you can still find so much good stuff secondhand, and I just always want to kind of push that out there that you can absolutely do both, but we love charity shops, we love anything secondhand. With that being said, let's get into our first trend. First thing I'm seeing so much of is beaded or embellished clothing, just anything. I love this trend so much because I think it's so fun and pretty, and I think for so long outfits were very like minimal and like tailored and kind of simple but like sleek designs, which is beautiful and so has its place. But I love like for summer wearing like sequins and beads and just like incorporating that into like everyday outfits. I just think it's so fun. A lot of the things that you'll find are actually beaded would definitely be on the more expensive side because it has to be done by hand from what I understand. Like there isn't a machine, so you will find that maybe with this trend things will be a bit more expensive, but obviously you can do more like sequins, which always seem to be cheaper. I guess I don't have to do that by hand, I don't know. Or you can DIY. I've seen so many of these like shell skirts. One of my favourite influencers, Madeline White, she made one where you just get like maybe a skirt you already have, second hand one, just a cheap one, and then you can get like these beautiful like shell sequin things that you can sew on yourself. You can also do like the little beads. I have this skirt that I bought and I so badly want to put something on it like beaded and just do it myself, because the beads themselves aren't expensive at all. When you're buying something beaded, it's normally you're paying for the time, because obviously it takes a very long time. But I think this is such a good trend for you to really kind of try a little bit of DIY, because you can make whatever you want. And obviously if you make it, that's like one of one and no one else is going to have that. I don't care about wearing the same thing as everyone else, but I do think there's something like so fun and cool about wearing something that is like one of one. People can be like, oh my god, I love that, and you're like, yeah, I made it. So love the beaded trend. I think it's great for summer. I also love like the beaded bikinis as well. I don't know how well they go in water, which I know like that's what bikinis are for, but like we don't all just wear bikinis to go in the pool and in the sea, do we? Everyone takes cute bikini pictures, like everyone wants to look really good at the beach, or like you might go to like a pool party and you're not actually getting into any water, like then it's really, really cool. So you can DIY that as well. Next is florals, and I know we've probably all got that saying in our head, florals for spring, groundbreaking, but we're talking about summer. But also it's different to what I've seen before, because normally when you think of florals you think of like a pattern that's kind of repeated over and over, but what I'm seeing more of is like just like one big flower. So I'll post some examples of what I'm seeing, and I think it's normally an orchid. I could be wrong though, I'm not very good with my flowers, but I think it is a specific type of flower, and like you'll just have like a really simple white dress of just like a really big flower on it, which seems kind of silly, but I'm seeing a lot of that. And then also a lot of people wearing them in their hair, wearing them on their shoes, because you can get shoes that actually have it on there, or you can just get like a simple pair of shoes and they have actual like clips that can clip onto your shoes. And I think that's so pretty, like on a beach or on holiday. I just think that's such a fun way to dress things up. And also if you are just going for like the clips, that's something that's so inexpensive but can still make such a difference to your outfit. And again, if you wanted to kind of mix these two trends, the beaded and the floral, this is actually what I'm thinking of doing with the skirt, is doing like a beaded large flower on this skirt I have. I think it'll be so pretty. So for the next one, in my trends at the start of the year, I can't remember if I included this. I either included it kind of at the end as like a kind of an add-on, or I didn't include it because I didn't think it would be that much of a trend, but I was wrong. And that is the Fisherman aesthetic. I really, really like this because it's very wearable, and I think it's one of those trends that can be worn every day. And especially for someone like me who is going to be moving to Cornwall soon. I don't know why I have to mention that in every video, I'm sorry, but I feel like that trend will work really well for places like that. But it doesn't have to be like a beach town, it can be anywhere. I think of this trend you're going to see a lot of wellies, or just like a good comfortable pair of boots. I think anything similar to the Fry boots, which you all know I'm obsessed with, anything kind of similar to that like really, really wearable but look really cool. And it's always going to be either like some jeans tucked into them or shorts, and that could be like linen shorts, like the boxer type shorts, and then a chunky knit jumper. So I think this is something that's really good as well, like kind of transitional as well, or which that's what I'm going to say, or what I'm trying to say is in the summer, especially in England, you could be boiling in the day, but by the evening you're so cold. So it's one of those outfits that you can kind of layer onto to look like that trend. And I just really like it. It's really wearable, it's really fun. I think you can kind of do any sort of colour, and I think it's a trend that really suits everyone. It's not particularly out there, it's just quite like a simple trend, but very cool girl, very like understated. You don't really care, but you do. You just want to look like you don't care. I think that's a really good trend for people like that. Western outfits, this was something I did think was going to be a massive trend, and it definitely is. I love this aesthetic so much. Cowboy boots to me are the coolest thing ever. I don't own a pair, well I do, but they're like from Shein. Well, they're from Vinted, but originally from Shein. But I want to get some like a proper pair of like vintage cowboy boots that are kind of worn but like still look really good. Like the Tacovas as well. but like, I don't know, I feel silly wearing them. I don't know why I feel silly wearing them. I think it's like no one wears them round where I live, but that's not a reason to not wear something, because I love them. I should wear them. If I like something that much, and I've always talked about liking it, I should just wear it. But I just think anytime I see someone in like a Western style outfit, they look so cool. I think for this trend, you need some really good denim. And again, that's something you can so easily get secondhand. Like, you don't want any kind of like thin, flimsy, cheap denim. Levi's, amazing. You can find so many of those on Vinted, and you can have them as jeans, you can cut them into shorts, have jackets, and you can do double denim. Double denim is great. And again, it's just like a very wearable trend. You don't have to wait for like an occasion to wear this stuff. This is very like everyday outfits, really comfortable. And I also just think that like whole aesthetic is a very big thing at the moment. I think there's a series, isn't there? Is it Yellowstone? With that girl Beth, and I always see like clips of it on TikTok, and I know everyone's so obsessed with it, and honestly I'm not watching it because I try not to watch TV just because I feel like it makes me really unproductive. So the only thing I allow myself to watch is Real Housewives. But so that's one reason, but two, I feel like it would, like, I already want to go live in like Montana on a ranch. I feel like if I watch something like that, I feel like I would ruin my whole life to go and do it, and I may not even like it. So I think I'm not going to watch that. But I do think that that kind of stuff has really pushed that trend out there, because also I think Bella Hadid's in it, and she has that cowboy boyfriend now, so it's just so cool. And then last we have boho outfits, and I do think like Western and boho can really mix well, but I knew this would be a big trend this year because of like the Isabel Marant style kind of coming back, and then just all of those layers and frills and just like very thrown on, but lots of layering, very intentional but effortless, I think is the best way to describe a boho style. I think those like tiered white maxi skirts, they were really in last year, and I think they still are. They're a very good basic with the cowboy boots, or even like Birkenstocks, or just like any kind of chunky boot. I think all look really good. And the circle belt, I ordered one on Vinted, and then she cancelled the order. I was like, are you joking? So I need to get another one of those. Denim, layered necklaces, just lots of stuff kind of thrown on, but make sure it's intentional. You don't want it to look like a mess. It can look messy, but not like an intentional mess, you know, you want it intentional, not unintentional. Also, a lot of people do those like silk headscarves, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks so cool. I feel like I would look really silly in that, but it looks so good on some people. And then also a lot of fringe, and I think that's again kind of going back into like the Isabel Marant style, like fringe on the boots or on a jacket, or where else could we put fringe? On a bag. I think boho is just so fun that you can really have a lot of fun with it when you're wearing any kind of outfit where you're adding lots to it. It's just fun to get dressed. It feels like you're playing dress up, and you literally are, and then you get to go out looking so cool. How many times do you think I said cool in this video? Let's not count. And then last trend is a colour, and I think you probably all know what colour it's going to be, and that is butter yellow. I always really love it when there's a colour that's a trend, just because I think it's so accessible, because you don't have to have like a certain item, and you can incorporate any other trend into it because it's literally just a colour. So you could get something Western in a butter yellow, you get something boho in a butter yellow, you get something beaded in a butter yellow, that you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And I love that so much. I think it looks so good when the full outfit is all the same colour, but you just kind of make it different with different textures. So like a knitted jumper with a satin skirt would look so pretty. And something I was really surprised about that I actually saw is that people wear like black accessories with it, which I would think absolutely not, because I just felt like it's too much of a contrast, but it actually looks really nice. I would probably go for more of like a brown or a white, but I was really surprised by the black. I think it's really wearable, and I think it suits like us blonde girls so well. It suits everyone, but I personally think butter yellow for a blonde girl with blue eyes, it suits us well. But then saying that, actually I think the people this will look best on is people with darker skin tones. I think the contrast will look so beautiful. So if you have like darker skin tone, please wear butter yellow, because that will look stunning on you. I'm sure there are so many other trends that I haven't spoken about because honestly, like, I'm no expert. This is just, I guess, where I see all of this stuff is like mainly Pinterest, just looking through Pinterest. I do also check a lot of clothing websites because I had a little shopping addiction a while ago, and this may sound silly, but for me to overcome that shopping addiction, I continue to look but just don't buy. So I'm always looking at the new in, and that always gives you such an idea of what is really coming into fashion. So that's where I get like my information from. It could all be wrong, but that's just what I'm seeing. But anyway, I'm going to stop this video here because I've already been speaking for half an hour and I need to film the second part of this and talk about where you can actually buy some of this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what your favourite trend is, or if you think there's a different trend that you really love. I would love to hear about it. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribed, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye!